Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you a new weekend reading vlog. Today is Friday evening. I am not going to go to my workshop. Time is running out, as it always does when I have things coming up like craft fairs. So there's that. I am not gonna go right now because I did order a barcode scanner because I want to change things up and work with barcodes now, because the way that I was working before was that I was just going through the alphabetical order of every item and product that I sell, and I had to look for the specific item with the specific pattern and then the specific size if it's a book sleeve, because I do offer three sizes and two choices of liner. So there's 6 possibilities for every pattern of fabric that there is. So it's just a lot. And then I do bookmarks with scraps of fabrics, and that means there's a lot. And it's just so many that it takes forever just looking through it. And the transactions are not efficient. They're not quick. They're not easy to go through. And the customer has to wait quite a bit, in my opinion, which puts a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I find the items really, really quickly, and it's annoying. So we're gonna do things differently. I created a barcode system already. Every item, every pattern, every fabric has its own, and every size, all of that, every option available for every product that I have already is ready to go. So everything is all set on paper-ish, on Excel more than paper, but that's done with. And now all I have to do is generate the barcodes and associate every barcode with what the item is. And I'll just have to print them and put the label on every product. And I'm gonna leave that job to my mom. So I'm gonna make sure that I have every barcode available, every pictures for the barcode available and ready to go. But I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna be printing the barcodes. I'm leaving that to my mom this week, and I'm trying to leave her stuff to do that are easy for her to do, and do the things that I need to do before time runs out. Anyways, so that's what I'm going to be working on this evening. So not sewing, I'm going to work on that. So I have a bit of a peace of mind knowing that that's dealt with. I'm probably going to be editing last weekend's vlog as well and try to read. I'll come back to that. And then tomorrow we have our annual trip to the Bookcon that happens here in my city. So very exciting. My son is so excited to go. He waits for this day like he waits for Christmas. It's the same level of excitement for him. He cannot wait to go to Bookcon. So it's cute. I'm really excited though. There is one book I know I want to get myself. I do have a small budget though, so we'll see how many books. I usually buy more books for my son than for myself because I do read in English and there's not that many books in English. And there is a booth with my indie bookstore that I go to for English books because they only sell books in a second language, so mainly in English, but they also have a small amount of books in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I go there quite often. So like I don't necessarily want to go there to buy the books anyways, unless I find a book that's from a French Canadian author that I really, really want to get. I might actually get one because there's a series of a friend of mine that I've been to uni with that has been writing YA books. She just got an adult book out. So I might pick like her newest book or the one, I see them from the shelf there, but the next one in the series where I'm at. I've read the first four. I think there's like three or four more left. Anyways, so I might pick one of those up, maybe. I don't know. The rest of the budget will probably go to my son for books for him. So there's that. But it's gonna be a fun time. I love going. It's always fun. I'm always so exhausted when I'm out of there as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Other than that, I'm probably going to be sewing and sewing and sewing and sewing again some more. Because on the 18th, I have a craft fair and I need to be ready. And there's just so many things I need to take care of. I am also applying to other craft fairs. There's one or two in May. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think there's like at least one in May for sure. The one in April. And then there's a one in August. And there's one in July that I want to go to. And other than that, it's gonna be October and then November for Christmas and all that stuff. So I've been applying and I still have some more I want to apply. So I'm gonna take care of that this evening to make sure everything around that is dealt with. And then yeah, the barcodes, take care of that. Reading wise, I am trying to finish this one ASAP. I really, really want to finish it so I can move on to Six of Crows, but also other books that I'm currently reading, which are Ship of Destiny. And I might pick up That Time I Got Drunk, number 3, because I did just buy that one on my Kobo reader. So I might get to that because I know it's a quicker read and an easy read to go through and it's fun. So I might do that. I'm not quite sure yet. So we'll see what I'm in the mood for anyways. So yeah, that's the plan. We do have an appointment early on Sunday morning. My son has some vaccines to get. He's in 4th grade and there's usually vaccines in 4th grade directly in the school. But we didn't do those because he's still missing his vaccines from when he was 5 years old. And it's not because I'm anti-vax. It's just because during that time, it was COVID vaccination time. So there was no appointments available for his like 5-year-old vaccines. And I tried to make appointments when it was available again, but there were no availabilities within like my schedule. So it just fell into the forgetness of my head. And I just never got to it because I just forgot about it after a while. So there's that. So I kind of need to take care of that. And I did talk to the school nurse. So I will be able to do all of the vaccines like in one go, all at the same time. And I postponed the one that he was supposed to get to in school because it was like a couple of days just before his last competition. And I was not gonna let him have his arm ache just before his last comp. Like that was not a possibility. So we're doing it like now on Sunday morning. And then I'm gonna be missing part of my rehearsal, but it is what it is. I am going to go to my band rehearsal afterwards and then come back home, and with the time I have left, probably some more sewing and more getting ready for craft fairs and stuff like that. So busy weekend as always, and I am making sure that I make some time to read during the evening. So I'm making that a priority and making sure that I don't start reading when I'm in a lay down position. as soon as I'm horizontal, like there's no way I'm gonna be able to read. I'm gonna be falling asleep for sure, even if I'm not tired. So I'm gonna try to force myself not to be horizontal and stay vertical so that I can actually read before bed. I'm gonna try. I keep saying I'm gonna do that, but I really am actively trying. So yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling right now and go to work on the computer and update you tomorrow. I might not update you before I leave, but you'll probably see B-rolls in the next clip for the Bookcon. So I'll see you later.
Feel your heart from the hate of your mother's masquerade. Apprehend all her sins. From the start, you create problems you will never change. In the end, no one wins. Oh, and the anger inside amplifies in the dead of night. Do you scream and spit, curse the life you live? Oh, and the anger inside amplifies in the dead of night. Can you promise me that you'll never be like her? If you could just forgive her, she's a lady you love, but got an ocean full of secrets that she won't open up about. And it's painfully tough without a daughter on her side. Cause every time they come together with the devils trying to sort out all the issues, man, it only rips a new wound from old scars. They might be better off far apart. Oh, and the anger inside amplifies in the dead of night. Do you scream and spit, curse the life you live? Oh, and the anger inside amplifies in the dead of night. Can you promise me that you'll never be like her?
Hey everyone, I tried to film proper footage while we were at the Bookcon, but yeah, I kind of forgot to film and then ended up not filming that much. I was too busy trying to find the books that we did spot and wanted to buy, and yeah, it was just a bit of a mess. And there were a lot of people, not at the beginning because we were there from the opening up until 11:30. So we were there a good 2.5 hours. It opened at 9 and there were not that many people at 9. There were still a lot, but like it wasn't too bad. It was manageable, but by 10:30, 11 tops, it was so full of people, like too much, too much, too many people. But yeah, we ended up choosing some books. We had a small budget and we ended up buying less than the budget we allowed ourselves. So that's good. and we're still happy. This year, we were really focusing on trying to find books that we don't typically find in regular bookshops. So I do go to my independent bookstore very often, so I didn't want to go to their booth because I just go there all the time already. We were trying to find authors that were there, or authors that we don't typically see on store shelves. There are some books that my son wants to continue the series and all of that, but like, we can find these books very, very easily, and the authors weren't necessarily there either. So yeah, I'm gonna show you quickly the books that we got, which I'm really, really happy with this year. So the first two books from this haul are from the same series, which is graphic novels written by a French-Canadian author. And it's called L'univers est un ninja. The universe is a ninja. There are 6 books in total, plus a bonus book that just came out. Right now, he had books number 1, 2, 3, and then book number 5 that was given to him as a gift, and we just didn't get to buy book number 4. So he got book number 4 and book number 6. These are very easy to buy and to find in stores, but like, yeah. And they're actually really, really nice and fun. They have a lot of like life metaphors in them, and the drawings are really cool and fun, and the lore is quite fun as well, and it's cute and it's funny. And yeah, I've read books 1 to 3 with my son like very often before bedtime. So they all have a different color. So book number 1 is blue, book number 2 is yellow, book number 3, if I'm not mistaken, is orange, I think, or purple. No, purple. And then book number 4 is green, book 5 is white, and the red one is book number 6. And he has read book number 6. I think he's read book number 4. He has read book number 5, which he owns. And I think he's read book number 4 at school, at the library. But we didn't own the book. And he's so cute because he was annoyed by the ending of book number 5 because there's a big cliffhanger, and he just cannot wait to get to book number 6 so that like he knows what's gonna happen. So yeah, I find it really, really cute. But so those were 2 of the books he got. And then the next one is another graphic novel, and it is called Œil de Dragon, which translates to Dragon Eye. And it is from a Norwegian author. I'm guessing Cha Sanmail. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name correctly, but this is book number 1, and it has a very, first of all, a very pretty cover, but also very nice drawings, and it's very fantasy lore in it. So yeah, it's a nice book. He found it and I was really interested in it, so we got that one. The next one is quite interesting because it is a novel. I don't know if it's middle grade or like YA. It is targeted toward like younger kids, but it's more than a chapter book. Yeah, we weren't ready for this book just yet. When we first found out about it 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and they have a board game, and it's a really nice game, to be honest. So you basically have like this board game where you roll the dice and move on the board, and it's you against monsters. So if you pick up a monster, you have to fight it, and you have like dices, and like first turn, you're the one attacking. So if you roll dices that attack, so there are little swords on the dice, and there's a shield. So if you attack the monster and the monster has a shield, it cancels the shot. But if you have like 2 swords against the monster and the monster has like 1 shield, well, the monster has a 1 hit, if that makes sense. So it's just pretty basic stuff, but still very fun to play and to do. And then the more you go on, the more the monsters are difficult to beat. And you have lives, and you can get money and charms and magical objects. And it's quite a fun game. And the different heroes and characters that you play in the game all have special abilities. And the books come from, like, they made a game out of the characters in the books. That makes sense. So every character that you play in the game, they each have their own books. But since it was like thicker books and like smaller print and not a lot of pictures and all that stuff, he was not ready for the books just yet. But this year, 2 of his classmates have the first book and are reading it, and he really wanted to get into it. And lately, he told me, like not too long ago, I think a week ago, tops, he told me that it's so much easier to read because he went through a small book and it was maybe 80-ish pages, but like with bigger font and no pictures. And he went through it like that in one go. It did take maybe 40 minutes to go through, but he still did it nonetheless. And usually when he has like bigger paragraphs, he asks me to read it because it's too much for him. And he sees it as this like high mountain big chore to get through, and it's too much. So we usually like split the reading, but that time he just went through the full like 80 plus pages by himself. He didn't want to stop. He was so immersed in the book, and he told me like, Mom, it's so much easier when you see the pictures in your head, like you're doing in a movie, like you're seeing the movie in your head. And I'm like, I've been telling you this for the last 4 years, and you've just gotten it like now. It clicked now, 4 years later. I know that some students have a harder time to get there because it all has to do with the development of your brain, which is like a totally normal thing. But some children do struggle more with that than others. And I know even adults don't always see the pictures in their head either. I know for some people, it is going to be very precise, a very clear picture and clear image in their heads. Other people, they have like more blurry images, and other people, they don't see anything at all when they read. But yeah, I was really happy when he told me that because I felt like he was more interested, and it really helps with the understanding of the reading, because a lot of children do decode the reading, like decode what the sounds that are written, like what it sounds like, without necessarily understanding it. But if you can do the pictures in your head and you can actually see what you're reading, well, that is a sign that you're actually understanding what you're reading. I'm not saying that if you don't see pictures in your head, you don't understand what you're reading. That's not what I'm saying. But like specifically for children, it's usually a sign that if you do see them, the understanding is there. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't want like anyone to feel bad if they don't see the pictures in their head, to say like, I still understand everything and I don't see pictures, and like, it's fine. Don't come for me. I'm not saying that you don't understand. It's pretty much the other way around. Anyways, all that to say, we got the first book of that series. So the first book follows Oslo in the Elfic Sanctuary. So it is the heroes of Mount Dragon, and they all have different colors. So the first one is blue, and they're very holographic covers, which are really fun. And it is quite thick. So as you can see, they're not like Robin Hood thick, but for my son, it's a lot. Like this is a lot. So it's what? It's 250 pages-ish. There's a big glossary at the end. Last page is 237. And there are a couple of pictures here and there, like this, every so-and-so pages. The chapters are quite small. That's what I've understood, and the author actually told us that. So maybe 6 to 10 pages tops. And the writing is quite big. So it's not too bad. I feel like it's bigger than a chapter book, but still easy to go through for a 10-year-old that is just getting into novels. And especially if he's already interested in the universe, in the world, and the board game, all of that stuff. His favorite character that he always plays in the board game is in book number 4, I think. So we'll see how he does with this one. I want him to take his time. So we'll probably be reading it together. I don't know. We'll see. But we probably will. But it is quite interesting. I have no idea what the story is about. Like, I don't know. But fantasy again. And it's funny because, like, he chose 2 fantasy books. And this is the first one that he really wanted to get, which I was really happy for. And this is the last one that he decided to get. And then I told my husband, it's really funny. Like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because my favorite genre is fantasy. My husband's favorite genre was fantasy when he did read. And he loved medieval stuff and everything that had to do with that era. So, like, I find it quite funny that now my son is picking up, like, fantasy stuff. But yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, apparently. And the last book that he did get is another book from a French-Canadian author. The author was actually there to talk about his book. It is a series where many authors contribute to that series, and they don't have a specific order. So it's not necessarily a series. It's more like a collection of books, and you can read them in whatever order you want. So this one is called Éclair de lune, moon lightning, I guess. Translated, it would be moon lightning. Yeah, it's the mythic creatures collection. They are mostly all books about some Greek mythology, something like that, and it talks about, like, special creatures from the Greek mythology. And it is smaller in, like, size, but the font size is quite similar to what we had in the Heroes of Mount Dragon. Have a middle of the book picture here, which is cute. So yeah, and he asked my son if he knew about, like, Percy Jackson, that type of stuff, and he was like, no. But, like, if he likes that, maybe we will be able to get to Percy Jackson soon-ish. I think it's going to be a good, like, entryway to that. And, like, the way that it's written is, like, they have, like, smaller sentences and very action-based writing style. And it's a very action-based writing style, so that the children are still, like, immersed into that story and they still want to read more. And, well, according to what the author had to say about it, but yeah, so yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting new discovery. So those were the books for my son. And the 2 books I got for myself were, the first one is Dans une galaxie près de chez vous, Season 1, Volume 2, which is, if you haven't heard me talking about it just yet, I have Volume 1 on my shelves already. This is the script from a TV series that I watched as a teen. This is my whole teenager life. Like, I know this series by heart. I quote this series all the time. So, like, it had a huge impact on me. And it is about this crew, Canadian crew, that goes into space, and they are trying to find a new planet Earth, because the actual planet Earth is dying and in a terrible, terrible state. It's set in the future, but, like, when I was a teen, it was quite far ahead. But it is 2034 when they leave Earth to go find a new Earth. So it's getting quite close to that. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to think too much about it. It's hilarious. This is a very, very, very funny series. It is only in French though, because it is French Canadian, but it's hilarious. It really is. And I love it. It did make me very nostalgic to read book number 1. I wanted to continue to collect these books. It is part of one of my Aurelium Readathon prompt for a different format, because it is a script. So as you can see, it's really written as if it was a script. It's all in red because it was like, as you can see, the uniforms, it was all red. So yeah, excited about that. Last year I got it autographed by one of the actor that was also a co-writer of the series and co-wrote like the actual scripts as well. So he signed mine and I got a photo and it was just amazing. But yeah, he wasn't there this year. So, and the other book that I got myself is La Chose, The Thing. Book number 1 of a series. I think there's 2 out at the moment by a French-Canadian author. And I already have 4 of her books. This author, I know her because I went to uni with her when I first did my theater studies bachelor's degree when I was younger. And yeah, so we went to school together and she's an amazing artist, amazing person. She's just amazing in everything that she does, everything that she is. And I love her a lot. I don't talk to her that much anymore, but she's really amazing. And I do want to continue to support her. And the other series that I have is Ma vie de gâteau sec, which is my life of, and then different stuff. It is a YA series. I am 4 books into that series out of, I think, 7 or 8-ish books, I think. Something like that. I was hesitant if I was going to pick up book number 5 of that series or if I was going to pick up this one because, but this is a newer series that she's coming up with. So I'm excited. I think it's still YA as well, but she talks a lot about mental health. And with the other series, it was a lot about anxiety. And here she calls it like the thing. I'm not sure what that thing actually is, like what it means. But I've always enjoyed her writing and she's funny. And it's a very, very light read. But I wanted to get into it. So I got this one. She wasn't there either to sign my book. But she did sign like book number 1 and 2, I think. Or 2 and 3. Of the other series that I have. So that is it for now. I've been talking for 30 minutes and yeah, I need to get to work. So I'm going to go ahead and sew for a bit for the rest of the afternoon. And then I don't know what I'm going to do next. We'll see. I did not manage to finish all of the barcodes I wanted to finish yesterday. I did get some progress done. Not as much as I wanted, but we'll see what I'm in the mood for and how much progress I'll make in sewing. I might sew some more after supper. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, on that note, I'll see you a little bit later.
I remember when my mother would kiss me goodnight and tuck me in. We would pray together. I recall a day a stranger had told me to not let my smile fade when the world was prettier. Oh, my innocence is gone and I feel the cold front on its way now. I remember when the devil on my shoulder told me there'd be a day where I might suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. I said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Yeah. I don't know when an enemy came by and planted an evil seed. Oh, if only I could find a way to rid the fear that's grown inside of me. taking over me. Oh, my innocence is gone and my flame is going strong. Won't let it suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. You said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Yeah. Yeah. Suffocating. Let me go. I'm suffocating. I'm suffocating. I'm suffocating. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. You said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. Say goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Everyone is watching, but I still feel so alone, alone, alone. And I've been waiting on a miracle, but by the time it comes, I'll probably be stoned or on my phone. Oh no, now I'm sure that you have got the perfect positive quote to say, but I don't want your optimism today. I just wanna complain. It takes a whole damn hour to afford 2 gallons, and I'm not doing enough. Another day, another challenge. I woke up one day and the world was cold. Feel like I'm way too young to feel this old. I got a hole in my heart that keeps getting bigger, so I'll try to fill it up by rooting in my liver. I'm a poster child, millennial. Feel like I'm way too young to feel this old. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Everyone's invited to this pity party in my head, my head, my head. And I'll cry if I want to, and I want to, but nobody's listening. So I'll just hide away instead, instead, instead. Now I'm sure that you have got the perfect positive thing to say, but I don't want your optimism today. I just wanna complain. It takes a whole damn hour to afford 2 gallons, and I'm not doing enough. Another day, another challenge. I woke up one day and the world was cold. Felt like I'm way too young to feel this old. I got a hole in my heart that keeps getting bigger, so I'll try to fill it up by rooting in my liver. Keep on trying to do things that require soul. Feel like I'm way too young to feel this old. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. My parents don't get it, and they don't give me enough credit. My friends, I'm broken. I've tried and I can't stop smoking. My fears are growing, and my learning curve is slowing. I got no friends, and I'm broken. I'm broken. It takes a whole damn hour to afford 2 gallons, and I'm not doing enough. Another day, another challenge. I woke up one day and the world was cold. Feel like I'm way too young to feel this old. I got a hole in my heart that keeps getting bigger, so I'll try.
Hi everyone. We are now Sunday the 19th of April. I know. It's been a very long time since I last updated. I was supposed to close the vlog during sometime in the week. I did not because I was busy. I think the last clip I did was a B-roll of me sewing somewhere or some Cricut, something like that. I did sew quite a bit, and then I went on to packaging. So I was using my Cricut, trying to get those packages out so I could assemble all of the products and get them packaged. And unfortunately, it did not go as smoothly as I would have hoped. I did get enough out for the craft fair, but yeah, I was tired. I did not sleep a lot this week. It was a lot. And from Friday to Saturday morning, I did an all-nighter. So I did not sleep at all because I wanted stuff finished, which I kind of did, but not really. I was trying to prioritize things I needed to finish, which I did. And then we left. We arrived right on time, so no extra time. We barely had time to set up the stand on time as well, because it takes us a lot of time to set up everything. Even if everything is ready to go, we still have like a rack where we hang the bookmarks and the pen holders, and it takes a lot of time to get all of the products on those racks, and I can't bring the racks with us already set up in the car. We can't do that. So yeah, it takes a lot of time, and then other stuff that also takes a lot of time, and like just going to get stuff from the car, it takes us a good 30 minutes at least, and then we start setting up stuff, so we need more than an hour to set up. We had an hour and 15 minutes, and it was very, very tight. To be safe, we really need a good 2 hour for setup, but it is what it is. Anyways, the thing is, it really depends on the organizers and the people that organize the craft fairs. And I am very, very picky to which craft fairs I go to. And I tend to not go participate in very cheap ones because I know that they won't have the budget to promote the event and promote like properly and bring in people and customers and like potential customers, not just like visitors. And that's a huge difference. And I've worked with her before in the past. I knew she could bring in a lot of people, and there was at least 1,500 people interested in the event on Facebook. But and I think there was maybe 50 people ish that showed up, and like part of those were people who was just around and saw that there was something. They didn't come specifically for the fair. So there's that. It was a big fail. Also to consider is that all week it's been raining. So if you don't know, our winters here are very, very harsh. So it's quite cold and very, very humid. And that makes it even colder. So people don't like winter here. Even if we're used to it, people don't like it. I love it, but whatever. So that being said, we still have snow on some lawns and like some areas, there's still snow. And yesterday was like 20 degrees outside, Celsius degrees, but it's still a lot. Was quite nice, and the sun was out, all that. So people were really, really eager to see the sun and to have like a nice temperature outside, and they're just tired of being cooped up inside, which I totally get. And it's been raining, like pouring all day today as well, and that's what they predicted for the weather, which meant Saturday was the only like nice day for the whole week. I'm guessing that it is one of the reasons why people didn't show up to the craft fair. It was really because of the weather. Because if we didn't have that much rain, I don't think people would have stopped themselves from coming. But since it was the one and only day of the whole week and weekend that it was nice outside, I think maybe that's like mainly the reason. Probably not the only one, because it's always many reasons, but yeah, I think it's the main factor of why it really, really failed as a fair, which I'm so disappointed with, because I did pay extra to have like extra space. But you win some and you lose some, so it's fine. I would have not slept all night if I knew that was gonna happen. I was really, really disappointed for that. Just like that's the only thing. I would have slept. I should have slept if I had known, but yeah, can't know in advance, so it's okay, I guess. We learn. So yeah, and we came back home, got everything back downstairs in my workshop. It's a lot of work, like putting everything in the car, then setting up there, and then packing up, getting it back to the car, and getting on the road, because it is an hour and a half away from where I live. So there's also that. And then putting everything back in my house and putting like stuff away. It's a lot. It really is a lot. And I was so tired because I hadn't slept the night before. I was exhausted. I was in bed by 9, I think. I did try to read yesterday evening. I did pick up Winter and Rising. I really did pick it up. But as you can see, my bookmark is here. And I have no idea where I stopped. I maybe read a page or two, like tops. I remember where I was at last time. It was 218. But yeah, I don't think I made that much progress. And if I did, well, I'll skim read that part and get back to where I was eventually. But yeah, I didn't read at all either this week. I am failing at reading in general and getting my stuff together as well. So yeah, it's okay. I have another craft fair in 2 weeks and another one 2 weeks later, which I do need to take care of. So the plan for the next 2 weeks is to finish up what I started. So I basically started putting barcodes on my products so that I can easily just scan them and have them come up on my transaction app, which is the Square app. I use Square Up for in-person payments. So that's what I was trying to finish yesterday morning when we left. The good news is during the whole day, since no one was actually showing up, I did do like maybe 5 or 6 sales, which were just a couple of bookmarks and a couple of pen holders, and that's it. But I did manage to finish doing some packaging and like putting labels on stuff and like with barcodes and all that. So I did get some work done nonetheless. At least there's that. We did keep ourselves occupied and busy, and we did manage to get stuff done. So I was happy with that. But yeah, I'm going to continue that work. And then I have some book sleeves I want to sew for the next one, because the next fair is a book fair. So I won't be bringing my kitchen aprons. I'm only going to be bringing my book sleeves, bookmarks, and pen holders. And that one we've done before and loved so much. So I'm hoping that it's still going to be a nice one and that we're going to be successful with that one, because yeah, I need some success here. I am so sorry for the noise. There's a neighbor that is sawing whatever he's sawing, and my son is really loud. So I'm sorry for all of the noise. Anyways, this morning I had band practice and I did go because I know I'm going to be missing 2 of those practices in May. And I really didn't feel like going, but I'm happy I went, but I was just so tired. And by the time I came back home, I did stop at the grocery store and the pharmacy, and I ate my soup. That's all I was feeling like having. And I got a little coffee. It's cold coffee thing that's in a can, and it's made here in Quebec, and it is quite nice. And I was just feeling like having one, so I put some ice, poured it in my mug, and now I am ready to read. And I'm just taking the day off. After supper, I might just go upstairs and get some editing done, because I am behind on that a bit. And I do need to plan ahead for tomorrow. I mean, my planning is done. My classes are all planned out. I'm just not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. So I need to sort out a couple of things there for that. I'm just not quite sure what I need to do. So I just want to make sure I got everything ready and go to bed early because I do need to be in school really, really early tomorrow morning. And I do know that there's a lot of construction going on at the moment on the roads. So I'm predicting a lot of traffic. So I'll need to leave very, very early. And my husband has an exam at uni as well. So a lot to take care of. But it's okay. We'll be fine and we'll manage. But yeah, right now I am going to be reading for a bit. I am so cold because of the rain. It's so humid. And now the dog apparently needs to be nosy and see what the neighbors are doing. Anyways, it is reading time. So I'll update you with a little bit of reading and something. Oh, also, I wanted to say that I am going to try to finish this. I think this is the one I'm going to be reading right now, which is the script of the TV series I watched as a kid. I think I'm going to be reading this because I feel like I can finish this in 2 or 3 hours, like in one sitting. So at least I'll have an accomplished feeling because I feel like I need it. So I'm going to do that and then move on to Ruin and Rising. So on that note, I'll see you a little bit later with some updates and other stuff to talk about, I guess. Okay, I'll see you. I promise I will update you and close this vlog a little bit later. Hi everyone, it is now Tuesday evening. I am going to try to make this quick because I don't have a lot of battery left. But here I am closing the vlog. The good news is that I did manage to read. So I finished this book, which I went through a little bit quicker than the first book. And the first time around I got into it. So this is book number 2 of a TV script. So this book is fulfilling my first prompt of the Aurelium Readathon. I know we're already April 21st, which means I only have like less than 10 days to finish all of the prompts. And I have 5 of the prompts. And out of those 5, I own 2 books. This one and this one. So this one I'll be able to read soon. So Uglies, book number 1 of that. I think it's a trilogy or a series, not sure. And then the other ones I need to buy. So I don't think that's gonna be possible for me to complete the Aurelium, but we'll see because it does take time for the books to arrive when I order them if they don't have them on stock. And as lucky as I am with this stuff, probably have to order them and wait a good 2 weeks to get them. So it's okay. I'll try to finish the prompts as quickly as possible, even if April is done. So kind of like summer school stuff. I do know that G from Book Roast did mention that at one point. I think it was last year. As long as all of the prompts have been completed before the next Aurelium, which is going to be in September. So I'm really focusing on that. But so far, this one, I'm going to give it a 5 stars again. It was easy to go through, a lot easier than it was for the first book. I don't know if it's because I kind of got used to the formatting. So this fulfills the prompt of unusual formatting because it is written as a script, and there's a lot of indications, like scene indications, that are here written in a very, very small font, and I kind of skipped most of them or like skim read most of them because I already know how the scene was set, and I think I really read them all in the first book, but I already know how the scene was said because I know all of the episodes by heart. So I just went through the dialogues mostly. And yeah, I was still reading it with the voices of the actors in my head, but I don't know why. It just got a little bit easier. I don't know. So these are episodes 8 to 13, if I'm not mistaken. So episodes 8 to 13 Loved it. Again, a lot of nostalgia, but it's just pure genius. This series is amazing. So yeah, another 5 stars. I did finish reading it in 2 settings because by the end of it, I was falling asleep on the last episode. So yesterday I did read, I think, the last 20 or 30 pages that were left in the book. But other than that, 2 sittings is good for me. This evening, we also had a tumbling class. Well, my son had a tumbling class, so I brought my book. I did have a union meeting where we had to vote for stuff. So finished that, maybe 10 to 15 minutes after my son's class started. So after that, I was able to pick up my book. I read not that much, 15-ish pages, more or less. Better than nothing. I am going to focus on finishing this book because I just want to get it over with. And then I'm going to be focusing on this because of the Aurelium Readathon. This book does not show very well on my phone because it is very white. But yeah, anyways, it's kind of a huge flash of light. But yeah, apparently I think from the back here it says there's 4 books. We shall see. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but should be an easy read to go through. I haven't read from this author so far, but I've heard a lot of things about it. I'm just afraid that this series is not going to pass the test of time, but we never know. On that note, I'm going to leave you at that and come back to you next weekend. I don't know how much I'll be able to film next weekend, but we'll see. And I'm gonna try my best. Lots to do, lots left to do for the business, for reading, for the channel, for lots of things, but one day at a time. Thank you to everyone that watches my videos. I really, really, really appreciate every single one of you. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in the next one.